So, what do you do when everything you've built, everything you love, just vanishes? It's a terrifying question, right? But what if the best strategy for getting through it all isn't what we think? What if it's this kind of counterintuitive approach that we can actually learn from an ancient mother and a modern missionary? So let's start with these two figures. They're separated by thousands of years, but they're connected by just catastrophic loss. First, you've got the Shunammite woman from the Hebrew Bible. After years of not being able to have children, she's given this miracle son, only to have him literally die right there in her arms. Then you've got William Carey, a missionary back in the 18th century. He spends 2 decades, 20 years, doing this incredibly difficult work in India. And then a fire just incinerates all of it. For both of them, their worlds were quite literally reduced to ashes. You know, there's a Korean word that just perfectly nails this feeling, jetdomi. It means a pile of ashes. And it's not just about, a building burning down. It's about the total destruction of your hopes, your life's work. And that's exactly where both the Shunammite woman and William Carey found themselves, standing in their own personal jetdomi. So what do you do in that moment? I mean, really? How do you even begin to respond to that kind of despair? I think most of us would just crumble. But their response, honestly, it's just bizarre. It's almost unnatural. And it holds this really profound lesson for how we can get through our own darkest times. Okay, so first, let's dig into their public face, what I'm calling the public face of Shalom. Because their calm reaction to all this catastrophe seems, well, it seems pretty much impossible. And the key to all of this, to their public response, is this one incredible Hebrew word, shalom. Now, it means a lot more than just peace. It's like a declaration of wholeness, of well-being, of a kind of divine tranquility, even when your circumstances are screaming the exact opposite. So, picture this. After her son dies on her lap, the Shunammite woman carries his body to a bed, closes the door, and just gets ready to leave. Her husband, who has no idea their child is dead, asks her, "Hey, where are you going?" Her response? Shalom. It is well. She doesn't break down. She doesn't try to explain. She just declares peace. And it doesn't stop there. She's racing to find the prophet Elisha, and along the way, his servant runs up to her and asks the most direct, gut-wrenching question you can imagine. Is your husband okay? Are you okay? Is the child okay? And again, with her son lying dead back at home, she just repeats it. Shalom. It is well. Okay, now let's jump forward a few thousand years to William Carey. He's literally standing there with his colleagues, looking at the smoldering ruins of his printing press. 20 years of his life gone. And what does he do? He doesn't collapse. He turns to his heartbroken team and declares this message of hope, that something better was somehow going to rise from this very evil. I mean, this level of unnatural calm is just staggering. So you have to ask, right? Is this just shock? Is it some deep-seated denial of what's actually happening? It seems impossible to keep up a front like that. This public declaration of peace makes us wonder what was really going on underneath it all. But here's the thing. That incredible composure, that was only half the story. Because behind the scenes, there's what we could call the private torrent, this absolute flood of unfiltered anguish. When the audience for their grief changed, everything changed. The second the Shunammite woman finally reaches the prophet Elisha, the guy who represents God, the dam just breaks. The calm shalom is gone. She collapses at his feet and just unleashes all of her pain, her raw anger, her feeling of being completely betrayed. Did I ask you for a son? Didn't I tell you not to give me false hope? It's just this pure, unfiltered anguish. And William Carey, same story. After giving that big speech about hope to his colleagues, he walks over to the ruins, gets down on his knees in the actual ashes, and just admits his profound heartbreak directly to God. Lord, he prayed, you have taken away my 20 years of labor. The performance of strength for everyone else was replaced by raw, honest grief before the divine. So, you see, this wasn't denial, and it wasn't hypocrisy either. It was something way, way smarter. A faith that was built for two completely different audiences. It was a deliberate strategy, a discipline based on this core idea that who you're talking to changes everything. And this, right here, is the absolute core of it. They understood that you talk to people differently than you talk to the ultimate source of help. They intentionally saved one kind of speech for the world, and a totally different, much more honest kind of speech for the divine. So check out this model.
It lays it all out. To the world, to other people, they declared hope, shalom. Why? Well, probably to protect that tiny spark of hope inside themselves, right? To avoid getting sucked into a pity party that goes nowhere. But to the divine, they unleashed all their honest, brutal anguish. They knew that was the only place their pain could actually be dealt with. The crazy thing is, most of us do the complete opposite.
Okay, so what does any of this mean for you and me today? Well, it challenges us to totally rethink how we handle our own moments of jiddimi, our own piles of ash, whether it's a project that fails, a relationship that ends, or a huge, profound loss. I mean, just think about it for a second. When things go wrong for us, what's our first move? So often, it's to vent to our friends or family or on social media. We pour out all our frustrations, we look for pity from people who, let's be honest, can't really fix the problem. But then when we turn to God or to the divine, we put on a performance. We say things like, I know everything happens for a reason, or it's all going to be okay, and we hide how we really feel. All the messy, angry parts. This whole model just flips our modern script on its head. It suggests that real strength, real resilience, isn't about hiding your pain from the divine. It's about knowing exactly where to take it. It's about showing strength to the world to guard your own hope, while being completely, devastatingly honest with the only one who can actually turn those ashes into something new. So it leaves us with this one final, really challenging question. The next time your world collapses, who's going to get the performance and who's going to get the truth?